It wasn't long ago that 19-year-old Joe Koss was on his way to jail. His troubles started in high school.
I was struggling over there. I wasn't able to get up on time. I was getting attitude with authority figures such as a principal.
Joe's waywardness eventually got him kicked out of school. Joe was aimless and angry and eventually committed a petty crime. As a result, he was looking at jail time. 20-year-old Ben Samuel's story started a bit differently, but ended up like Joe's, facing a possible jail sentence. He was wrestling in a state championship for his high school when an illegal move by his opponent broke Ben's neck. Paralyzed at first, Ben regained feeling in all of his limbs. However, the injury changed his future and his outlook.
I was just angry at the world because all my dreams that I thought I wanted to be a Marine went down the drain, and they told me I couldn't wrestle anymore. So I took frustration out and got into drugs and fighting.
During this time, both angry boys ended up in a program called Winning Futures, where teams of troubled youth are assigned to mentors to help get their lives straightened out. Enter Mike Fitzpatrick, businessman, philanthropist, mentor, and everyday hero. Mike Fitzpatrick is owner and president of Fitzpatrick Manufacturing in Sterling Heights. His company has been profitable 29 years of the 31 he's owned it. He's no nonsense and wears the same uniform that his employees do. He punches a clock like everyone else and has an open cubicle like the rest of his office staff.
The manufacturing requires the discipline of being here on time, because we've kind of recognized that we have to keep the main thing, and that is pay attention to our work.
Mike pays attention to more than just work, though. For 10 years, he's been a mentor to 45 at-risk young people, including Ben and Joe.
Joe was not quite connected to the team effort and did a lot of sleeping. The next year, he wasn't in the program, and I said, well, can we get him back in here?
It was that request that brought Joe back and began his turnaround. Mike continued to mentor him and show an interest in his gift for art, helped keep him out of jail, and eventually hired him. Soon after, he was invited by Mike to be part of the company's apprenticeship program. This means 4 years of part-time schooling paid for by the company and 8,000 hours of work. In the end, Joe will have his journeyman's card. But Joe doesn't plan on stopping here. He wants to go on and study transportation design at Detroit's College for Creative Studies.
I could tell Mike was really generous and he really cared. He was really genuine about how he felt, the things that he did for people. He was a big hit around the school. I mean, he gave me that job. I was like, okay, this is my chance. I was like, I'm going to have a good job. I'm going to go to school. He's going to pay for my schooling. It's time to turn my life around. I'm growing up.
Mike also worked several days with Joe to help him compete for a scholarship through Winning Futures. Joe had to write a very structured essay projecting 20 years into the future on how his life had turned out.
By eliminating all the bad influences that might have had a negative effect on my life, my dreams have come true. Keeping in touch with my former boss at Fitzpatrick Manufacturing has made a difference. I'm successful, and most of all, I'm proud of myself.
With the help of Mike's coaching, Joe turned out an award-winning essay and won one of the highest cash awards. Those monies will be held for his tuition at the College for Creative Studies.
Is you align yourself with good people around you, people of high character, both your peers and the adults, your mentors. Make sure that these people have your best interest at heart. So keep the toxic people out of your life.
Ben was also saved from a jail sentence through Mike's involvement and is now an employee at Fitzpatrick and working on his journeyman's card. Mike's influence has been profound.
There hasn't been anybody that had that much interest in me that cared this so much for me to actually help me out the way he did.
Ben and I talk a little bit about personal problems. He said, here's what's going on in my life. And I said, well, Ben, I got an opinion on that. And it might be a little different than what he's been hearing from other people. And hopefully I'm help steer him in the right direction.
Without Mike, Ben has a good idea where he would be.
Probably behind bars or dead in the street.
We've all been 18, 19, and to think back and to kind of understand it, not to dismiss these young people because some of them are a little bit on the edge, is to bring them back into that. And so compassion, I think, is understanding.
Mike's an amazing man, and he's so compassionate about helping others, and especially youth, and helping them empower themselves and do what they need to do to be successful.
Mike has been forthright and always honest with these kids and telling them this is what you need to do. You don't have to be a rock star, you don't have to be a Bill Gates. You got to do these little things to be successful, and that's what he always emphasizes with young kids.
Mike seems to dismiss his compassion and selfless giving toward these young men. He sees his efforts as a way to help everyone. Ben and Joe's lives illustrate this, as they are both far from their original destinations and looking ahead instead to both personal and professional success.
Now it's like I feel like the world isn't big enough. It's really giving me the motivation to proceed and realize how much I'm actually capable of.
I live life to its fullest, every day, and now I'm on the right path and found the right road thanks to Mike.
He really cares about us. I think he does. He's actually making a difference in other people's lives.
Mike Fitzpatrick, he's an everyday hero. He doesn't believe in handouts, but he's the first one there with a helping hand.